Hi, I would like to talk about a plant that I like to use a lot, but I don't think very many people know about it or use it in the United States. It's called Frogfruit, Phyla nodiflora. It's a verbena family plant, and it's something that I kind of checked out when we first moved down here to the Central Texas area. I did some research and I found its use in India a lot, and started using it. I started experimenting with it myself after reading some different research about on it, how it's used in folk medicine in India. And I was amazed at some of the things I was using for how effective it was. This is a little, like I said, a little verbena family plant that is sort of it's like a little ground cover plant, and it's got this cute little white flower. I'll show it to you, here in the B-roll as I'm talking. But it's got little tiny adventitious roots. Really not much to speak of for the roots, but you could harvest the whole plant. But I don't. I just cut the stalk off, and I usually cut it when it's flowering. And I prepare it that way. Let me talk a little bit about how I use it first, and we'll talk about the preparation. I would say primarily I use this for liver support, and in particular for constipation. And I don't know how it works exactly. I do know that as a funny story, when I first found out about this plant, I was kind of eager to find out how it worked. And I read that it had been used as a hepatoprotective herb, to help stimulate liver process and sort of a cholagogue or liver decongestant. So I made a strong, fresh tincture of it, just like 40% alcohol, and then I took, made it real strong, and I took about, maybe 2 tablespoons of it, which I probably shouldn't have done. It was a lot, and I felt like somebody had kicked me in the liver for about an hour. I mean, it literally, it was just not like pain that made me think that I had done something bad or that I was hurt or anything, or that I needed to go to the ER for any kind of toxicology screen or anything, but it just kind of like this ache, and then it just cleaned me out. Not too much information there, but I started using it then. I just briefly used it occasionally with students, occasionally with anybody else, friends, family type of thing, for anything that was related to constipation, and lo and behold, not like a purgative. Different, but just would make your gut motility work better. And it does. That's what it does. And I don't know how it works. I don't know that anybody really does, but it's an anti-inflammatory. It is definitely a nervine. It's an anxiolytic. It might actually calm down a little bit of the central nervous system, and that might be part of how it works as well, because I think it increases gut motility. I have since then, over the years, then once I started to actually implement it in the Apothecary, used it for clients that had chronic constipation issues, and I've seen incredible turnarounds using it. Now, I always formulate it. I formulate it with other liver protective, hepatoprotective, and hepatosupportive herbs usually when I'm doing that, along with, of course, lots of digestive stuff going on, nutrition, and other things. But it by itself, it's very, very powerful that way. It's used in India for other things as well. It's used as an anti-inflammatory for joint pain. It's used as an antifungal, and I've used it as well. It's a very, very powerful antifungal for things like nail fungus. Works really well. It's one of those that probably you would benefit from doing a multifractional extract of. I've found that, and you can do an oil of it as well. You can dry it to make an oil, or a multifractional. But if you don't have the time to do that, it works very well as just a fresh herbal extract in 40% alcohol. That works great, or 50%. Anywhere in that range, you're going to get a really strong, potent tincture off of it that you can use for these. It is also, in its liver support, useful for pre-diabetes, for instance, for people who are issues with hyperinsulinemia, and you're worried about trying to help formulas to help bring down glucose levels over time, along obviously with nutrition and lifestyle and all that as well in there. So very strong in the gut, very strong in the liver, very strong in the nervous system, again as an anxiolytic, and a very strong antifungal. Those are the primary things that I would say are most useful about this plant, this little Phyla nodiflora. So really a gem. Subtropical and tropical climates only. You're going to find it in south and southeastern U.S. You find it a little bit north of central Texas here as well. Probably not going to find it in the desert much in the southwest, but southern California you might find it as well as this beautiful little ground cover.